lot in terms of green power on its buildings. And they've gotten subsidies to be able to start doing that. The federal government, as I say, offers these subsidies as well. And we could be taking more advantage of that. So another priority, since you asked, is really more about sidewalks and more about safe walking and safe bicycling. That being said, we're hearing a lot of people who are concerned about bikes running through crosswalks and not stopping at stoplights, and I think that's something I'd like to see change in the next 2 years. I'd like to convene a group of people who say we're serious now. We want to make sure that these are the same roads and same rules, and that bicyclists need to obey the rules and bicyclists need to be protected. I'm very concerned about bicyclists and dooring, and we hear a lot about that, about people opening up their car doors without even thinking about it, or turning right into a bicyclist, and it's very dangerous. So we've been talking about how we're doing more for walking and biking, but I think we haven't gotten quite as serious as we need to on the enforcement end of things.
We made the streets narrower at a time when we really need to make them wider for bike paths, maybe?
No, I think they've been made narrower to include bike paths. We've narrowed roads to, and the narrowing has been, the sense that you have that roads are narrow is that there's now a bike path on the road. And sometimes the bike path is right in the same road, but in our some of the best places in Western Avenue, the bikes are going to be separated from the road, and they're going to be right next to the walking paths, and that's really going to make it a lot safer for the bicyclists.
That would be helpful.
Yeah, it would be good.
Any way to get rid of the dips in the sidewalk so that it doesn't make huge puddles of ice?
Well, that's a long-term project, but I was able to work with the Commissioner of Public Works a few years ago to get emergency repairs, which they didn't really have an emergency repair program. But if you know of a sidewalk where there's an 1.5 inch fault, about that big, and there are probably quite a few of them right at tree holes, you can call the Public Works Department and they will repair them temporarily. They won't give you a brand new sidewalk, but they'll make sure that you won't trip. And I think that that's the first thing we need to make sure is that people are safe. Then we can make in the long run, those sidewalks will be replaced, and they'll be replaced with the right kind of material, brick or concrete, and they'll be altogether flat.
Really nice.
But first, I'd like to see those broken things taken away.
Yeah, I was thinking about some of them that are, well, maybe I shouldn't say, but are not broken, fairly new sidewalks, but they still have.
And where are you thinking of in particular?
Like right in Central Square.
Well, actually, that sidewalk I think came up in conversation at the City Council on Monday night, and we asked the city manager to look into flattening out those sidewalks where you have those puddles.
The new brick and.
Well, it's not that new anymore.
Well,
it's not that new, and it did settle, and it needs to be addressed. So it's not an easy job, I think, taking care of our sidewalks. We have 250 miles of sidewalks.
Wow.
That's further than getting all the way to New York City. So if you walked every one of our sidewalks, you'd be in New Jersey. That'd be the same distance.
Right. That's a very busy one though, right there. So, what else?
What else?
So